Welcome to Arcane Anarchy. Welcome back to episode 4 of Arcane Anarchy. I'm Daze the Voice, and I'm joined with...
Azric. I am the co-DM of this fine campaign.
And next are our players. We have...
I'm Echo, or Logan. I'm playing Azure, and I'm a player in this fine campaign.
Outstanding.
Hey, I'm George, and I'm playing Harmony. I am yet another player.
And I'm Gally, and I'm playing Luria. And yes, another player.
Gasp. Shocker.
I'm Ash. I'm playing Nova. I am a bystander.
Oh, all right. That's understandable. I'm glad you didn't say innocent bystander. Anyways.
Oh, no.
Let's do a recap, shall we? Especially since you're innocent. Then why would y'all be in prison? How did we get there? You were sent off in search of an artifact and offered good compensation for it. As the party traversed obstacles and learned about each other a little bit, they found themselves in a winding path down into a catacomb. They found the artifact, and about the same time that they did, they were confronted by not one, but two different groups. After a heavy battle ensued, and all hope seemed to be lost, everybody was not killed, but definitely knocked out. And they wake up here, in a prison cell. Each of you, alone. I want to hear everybody's first reactions.
I have a few questions.
Okay.
Are we bound? And do we have any of our stuff? Like, do we still have our armor on, or are we stripped when we were brought here?
And did we get the benefits of a long rest? Because I'm being quite honest, you get 1 HP. The sound effect is very annoying.
Oh, you can turn that off.
I
There's a little heart in the corner. If you click on that, it turns that off.
Little heart in the corner. One of the corners.
Up, next to
Left, right.
right.
Right. Okay. Let me see here. I think I can find it. Hopefully, if it will let me click on it. The bloody condition is over it.
You just gotta click
should
it
be
to
able
right.
to.
Okay, there we go. It's finally off. Okay, it's fine. Okay, that was the main thing, because God, that hurt.
I will answer those questions in reverse order. No long rest just yet.
That's all right.
And the second question is no, you're not bound. I want everybody to notice that the whispers are there, and that's kind of the first thing before you even open your eyes. When you open your eyes, what you see is a single bed that you're laying upon. You're surrounded by stone walls that are cold and damp. You can smell the must in the air. The doors are bars that it almost seems like the whispers are coming from the bars themselves. And then you look around the room and it seems like they're coming from everywhere. Does anybody want to get up out of bed, take a closer look around?
Yeah. Harmony would be quite interested in getting up and trying to see where she is, like more in depth. So yeah, she'd go up to her cell door, I guess, and try and look out.
You notice that the corridor extends to your left and to your right. And then I want you to give me a perception check while I let Foundry reload.
That'll be a natural 20.
Not only do you notice that actually, Harmony, from where you're at, the corridor extends only to your right, to your left is a wall.
Mm-hmm.
You notice directly across from you is Luria. And at the end of the hall, had been pacing up and down is a hooded figure. You can hear the movement of your compatriots, and with that 20 perception, I'm going to also say that you can hear the labored breathing of a fifth person, or sixth person, not counting the hooded figure.
Yeah. As this is going on, Harmony would just kind of like try. So like the cell door, it's like bars, right? She'd try to like poke her head through, but presuming how wide they are, she'd probably get stuck on her horns. She's like, "Hey, hey, what's going on here?"
The hooded figure will turn and just kind of, as if the hooded figure noticed you saying something, but isn't going to address you yet. In fact, he's going to pull back his hood. And then, Luria, can you give me a perception check, please? What'd you get?
18. It accidentally rolled twice, but 18.
You see that catty corner across from you is a person you don't recognize laying on the floor, barely breathing.
So that's in the cell room with me.
No, in the room with the cells, not in your room, but catty corner across from you.
Okay. I try and take a closer look and see if I can see anything recognizable.
Not at the moment, but you do see Harmony across from you.
I acknowledge Harmony with a head nod.
Is he going to respond to you either? Can you try talking to him? I don't think he's listening to me.
Excuse me, sir. What's going on? No? Doesn't look
moment.
like he's going to respond to me either. So here.
Oh. My apologies. That's good to know. Okay. The hooded figure will pull back his hood, and actually he will walk down the hall again, pacing up and down, wanting to make sure that everybody's getting up. What about Azure and Nova? You're waking up to these strange whispers in your surroundings. What's your reactions?
Nova's just going to kind of at least move to a part of the cell that they can actually see. And they're just kind of leaning against the wall next to the door. Just wait.
I think Azure is lying on his back on the bed, just sort of thinking about if this whole thing has been worth it so far. And I don't think that he has an answer. But he's not really moving from his bed at this moment in time. It's his first time being knocked out to his memory, so. Ow.
Yeah, your head definitely swims, and it's hard to focus. You've got a headache. Can I get perception or even investigation checks from either of you?
You said investigation and what else?
Or you can use perception.
Okay.
I rolled a 20 for my investigation.
That's a dirty 20.
And I rolled a 5 for my perception.
Azure, with that dirty 20, the extra person that's laying down that you can hear the breathing, you recognize the breathing pattern. You recognize the breathing pattern of the person that's laying there as someone very close to you.
Recognize it. I'm not familiar with any of the mortals here.
The prisoner is The prisoner is Amber.
There's no way. That can't be right. I'm hearing things. But I don't think he's convinced that he is hearing things. I think he knows what he hears.
The hooded figure stops actually in front of your cell and turns to you and then turns around to all of you. And he says, I'm glad you're all finally awake. It's been a while. But we may have our chance. My name is Corwin. And I hail as well from the Heartwood Grove. As he looks over at Luria.
She squints and looks at him more intently, trying to recognize him.
He actually walks up to you, turns directly to you, Luria, and he says, I knew it was going to be trouble when I did it. But I felt that the whale had the answers. This chaos is just too much for this world, and we could rebuild. And I thought I was doing the right thing. I knew it was a mistake, though. So when I took the Veilshard lens from the Grove and escaped with it, I knew it brought shame on us all. And I'm sorry.
You took it. You took it from where? The voices are so loud. She's so disoriented and so confused still. Still trying to figure out her disoriented status. She's still just trying to get through the voices in her head and hear. She just can't believe what she heard. She just heard.
I felt there was no other choice. I didn't want it to cause more harm.
More harm.
Yeah.
More. You. You thought the Veilshard had the answers. You didn't think it would cause more harm. I'm not surprised. What else could be expected from someone like you? A mortal. What a fool.
Yes, mortals make mistakes. But we also get the chance to correct them. So that's why I'm here to help you guys get out of here. And retrieve the shard.
Surprising. I'll hear you out.
What is your name?
My name is Corwin. Corwin Velar. I was born and raised in the Grove. I even learned the ways of druids. Or looks at Luria again. But I knew that the Verdant Guard had problems within the Grove, and they were looking to use possibly corrupt means for it. But I had been tasked with tending to the crystal. When I was out there, I had noticed members of the Whaleborn Covenant. They were learning about the ley lines that were going through the Heartwood Grove. I didn't think of them as enemies, so I approached them as curiosities and learned more from them. And their words rang true in my ears. So, thinking I could save the Grove, I did. I stole the lens and made off with it. I didn't want it to have any more negative effects on the Grove. I thought it was part of the corruption therein. I wanted to restore Sanctora, no matter the cost, even at the cost of my people.
What happened after you left?
I brought the shard to the Whaleborn, where it's to be used in a ritual. That ritual could be very detrimental. And I don't mean on a small scale. We absolutely have to get this crystal back from them. If not, it could be the end of the Weeping City.
Why do I not recognize you? How do I know you're telling the truth?
All right. Well, welcome to one of the beautiful mechanics of D&D 5e, Galley. And this is called an insight check. This is one of the most beautiful thing. So first we're going to do an insight check for trust, and then we're going to do another check on the recognition. We'll explain each of them.
Nat 20.
Ha 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 ha. I love it. I love when the dice tell the good stuff. All right. So with that nat 20, you can tell his heart is beating true. He's really wanting to not destroy the Weeping City and wants to rectify his mistake. Now, for the recognition, give me a history check.
Nat 20.
What? Wow.
Let's
So,
go. Double net 20s.
His address is he went to school with his little sister. No. Good Lord, great rolls. With the 20 insight, you know, not only is he 100% honest in his earnest to help you, but also that not only is he giving up or potentially losing his position here, but he's offering to be an inside man for you guys. Like, he's all in. With that history check, you had heard about the stealing of the shard. You had heard that it was one of its caretakers. You didn't know who had taken it, but you had definitely heard of all of this. So you know also, like, his story would match up.
Okay. So, of course, like, I let everybody know that I trust this person. They're giving me no reason to not trust them. And I've heard the stories of the shard being stolen within the grove. I just didn't expect it to be this person standing right in front of me. So I'm still in shock, still a little bit of a headache, so I'm disoriented, but I know I can trust this person. So I shout that over to Harmony and say, Harmony, we can trust this person.
Okay. I mean, if it gets us out of here, I can't complain.
All right, so you also know with that history check that Corwin here had tried to warn the elders, the elder druids, that the crystal was starting to resonate with strange, chaotic energy. And he thought that the ley lines were amplifying the corruption of the crystal and had tried to warn them, and they didn't listen. And so that's what the elders believed as to why he took off with it.
I was speaking to Corwin and verifying that he did, in fact, warn the elders that this was happening and do his best to warn them, but they didn't listen, did they? Typical.
They didn't listen. They always have a problem when it's something new information. They want to stick with their ways and are so distrustful of anything new. The young ones barely have a voice.
I know all too well. That has been my experience as well, and why I came out here searching for answers.
Now, Corwin says, as he walks down and stops in front of Azure, and says, and as mortals that make mistakes, the only way I can help is to let you out. And though it'll be dangerous, I'm going to help you retrieve the lens. And hopefully we can do this before the ritual, because that's the only way we can save your sister's life.
How do you know that she's my sister? And what is she doing here?
She was to be used as a sacrifice for the ritual.
He tries at that to push the bars apart. He like slams his fist against them and is trying to like exit. He's like, she won't be used.
I want you to make an Arcana check as you punch the bars.
As you take 1 damage and fall unconscious again from punching the bars.
No. We're not doing another TPK.
I know. And my Arcana is 2 plus my modifier of 2 for a total of 4. Magic is not something he's considering in this moment.
Okay. You're too angry to see the sparkles.
Certainly.
Corwin will step forward and say, I understand your anger, but please trust that this is the way to save her. I can let you out, but I don't have access to her door. We can't pull her out of here, but we can get the other part of the puzzle out. Do you trust me?
No. But if you help me, perhaps that will change.
Noted.
And Azure steps back from the bars. the next step is not his to take.
What does Nova think of Corwin?
Nova is just any time that he's within an area that Nova can see, will they just kind of stare at him every now and again, looking over to Harmony, as that's the only other person that I can see on the map.
As Corwin continues to walk down the hall, he stops and turns towards Harmony.
So,
I don't think I've ever seen anyone like you before. You know that, right?
a lot of people have said that about me. She kind of like leans up against the corner of the wall here, quite casually.
You know, you were nearly rescued by someone else that you didn't even realize was there. He's also imprisoned here, actually. And I think it'd be a good idea for us to let him out as well. He's not in this part of the prison, though.
Oh. Okay. I mean, if it gets us out of here, I'm fine with picking up somebody else. I didn't think there was going to be anyone here. She tries to think and prod her mind for who it could have been.
It is actually a member of the other guys you fought there. He was just a little not with the rest of them. He was part of the Ascended Flame.
Odd. I don't think I would know anyone with them.
Yeah.
She, yeah.
Because do you really want to do a deception check?
I mean, she can't really think of anyone that like would want to save her. So yeah, she's being honest when she says it. She can't think of anyone who'd be with them.
I don't know. I've heard tell that someone from the Obsidian Vale had something to do with bringing in your friend's sister. So, in Harmony, you know the name of the Obsidian Vale very well as the criminal syndicate that Lord Lux runs.
Oh.
The man that killed Galish.
She kind of just stands back. Well, we should probably get moving then. Best not to dally around too long. Getting a little antsy being in this cage.
Understandable. And he'll let out Harmony, and then Gally, and then Nova. Look to Azure, nod, and open Azure's door. As everybody walks out, you feel the weight of the world being lifted a bit, and I need everybody to go ahead and give me a long rest.
Noob here. How'd I do that?
All right. So in Foundry, you're going to open up your character sheet. On the top corner, or in the top part, there's a tent. Click that, and that starts your long rest.
Okay. Got it.
So everybody has all their wonderful hit points and gadgets, doohickeys. You can see your sister unconscious. You can now know that having been in the cells, that it doesn't allow you to fully recover. And how does Azure feel right now?
I know that we weren't able to fully recover. Can I make some sort of check to see if any sort of healing would be able to improve her condition in some capacity?
I would say that you would get the feeling that wouldn't work. You didn't even try to heal yourself inside. I think you would feel like the magic just wears you down enough that it doesn't allow for that kind of healing. You can still feel it kind of pushing down on the energies around you. If like as you tried to inherently bring up the summoning of your healing. You could feel it being pushed back, if you will.
How long has she been here?
She was brought in after you guys, and you guys have been here. Oh, goodness. It's been a week.
Ugh.
A week? No.
Yeah.
There were other things I had planned. Harmony looks visibly distraught.
Understandable. Sorry they got ruined. Let's try to make everybody's day brighter, and hopefully we can save your friend's sister.
Right. As we're going, Harmony's just gonna walk by the cell and like look at the girl for a moment. Is there anything odd that she sees about them, or just seem like a person, weakened and all that?
You can definitely see the family resemblance, though she is a full celestial, so her wings are fuller. You know that if she was standing tall in her own, at full health, she'd be something to behold. But in this state, she is every bit as weak and humble as a mortal.
Gotcha. Well, with that, Harmony will catch up with the others.
Now, for our listeners, one of the things that we found to be pretty clunky with our episodes is when it came to combat. So, as we continue on from here, when we get to combat, Azzy's going to be taking over, and I will be using Corwin for this particular sequence. All right?
Well, when there is combat, not that there necessarily
I
is
was gonna say,
going
that's
to
very
be.
Of course.
ominous.
Yeah, of course. Sure.
Yeah, definitely. We
Yeah,
believe
mhm.
you, and by we
Yeah.
I mean
Mhm.
no.
I don't think our players were so naive as to believe that they could make a prison escape without it.
Unfortunately,
Corwin goes to pick the lock from the outer cell. So now that we are opening up this door and rolling in, we will be doing combat. Yay, fun.
Yeah.
Call out your initiatives, please.
13.
13.
Azure also got a 13.
And I got a 9. And I got a rock.
And now I got a rock.
So in 2024 rules, when surprise happens, the individuals that are surprised roll initiative with disadvantage. There's no longer any sort of surprise round. Like, they can still take their reaction when it's their turn in the turn order. They get to take their action. It just has changed to those individuals get disadvantage on their initiative.
So you're telling us that we need to hit the disadvantage button then?
No.
The opposing side.
Oh, they're the ones
Perhaps.
surprised. All right, that makes more sense.
I
then.
mean, as
either
a
way,
pri-
it would have made sense to me.
agreed. But a prison guard, I feel, would be at least a smidge surprised to see one of his, shall we say, coworkers, aides, associates,
Bosses,
leading a prison
effectively.
raid. Effectively, bosses. Yeah.
In fact, I would like for you all to now, as you're coming into this, I want you all to just, for free, before the actual combat begins, roll a insight check on Corwin, just to see if you can sort of gauge his capability.
I got a crit.
Be like, what's his whole deal? And Nova's like, I've read this book before.
And Lori is like, I may trust him, but I don't trust his skills.
Harmony got a 13.
I got a 9.
Azure, I got a rock. Azure got a 12. I almost was tempted to do Azures with disadvantage. I don't think that he thinks this person will be helpful.
So, Nova, yeah, you're the only one who rolled high, and you got a nat 20.
Yes.
He spoke about being a druid, but he looks significantly more roguish. In truth, he is more roguish than he is druidic, but mechanically speaking, only a single additional level more. As a level breakdown, just to give you this insight, it would be 7 druid, 8 rogue.
Yo, he's level 15. Okay, I feel more confident about any upcoming combats for the time being.
Fair enough.
The level 15 character, yeah. I think Azure thinks that he's going to be the sacrifice, as in Corwin is just going to be the person who dies, and they'll be like, damn, that's sad.
He has indicated that his intention is to be your inside guy, so he's probably not going to visibly help, but he'll certainly, definitely help, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And with that, obviously, the fast guy is going to go first.
Surprise, surprise. Corwin will...
Surprise.
Round. We'll start with the bonus action, hide.
You don't roll the hide.
10 on the die, but that'll still be a 22. And I will sneak up next to the closest of these whispering guards and do a little stabby. I didn't click advantage. It's a good thing it was at advantage because I rolled a 1, but the previous night was a 19, so plus 8 is going to be 27 to hit.
Well, a 19 was the final. But yes, a 19 does hit.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll damage, and because it's surprised, his dagger does an extra 46 on top of the 46 sneak attack. So it's an additional 86.
Which that'll total out to 28 extra, plus the d4 and the 2d8. We're looking at a total of 44 damage.
Yeah. So Corwin disappears from sight, and then runs in and stabs what you are all able to see from inside, or some of you are able to see from inside. These beings of pure hatred and anger and despair, those whispers that you hear are emanating directly from them, as though they are beings made of the whale.
Mini maelstroms incarnate.
Is that your turn?
That will be Corwin's turn.
Gloria.
Okay, so I'm going to run up to this guy here, and then I'm going to use my handy-dandy staff shillelagh here and attack him. 18.
18 does it.
And damage 6.
6. And you did not first cast Shillelagh on this. So that would be non-magical bludgeoning.
Yeah.
So that gets reduced to 3.
Okay.
You still have a bonus action.
So learning stuff I could do with that.
And just to let you know, you can use your bonus action anytime you want, including before your action.
And bonus actions can be moving or...
No, those are very specific things. So if you go ahead and look at your like listed actions, and you scroll down, you have like Healing Word is a bonus action that you have, and then I believe Shillelagh is also a bonus action.
All right, so I will do the shillelagh. So what do I do now with that? I'm sorry, I'm still learning.
Okay. So what you do with this part is in your inventory, you grab your quarterstaff and drag it to the chat box where it says place item here to enchant it. Now your quarterstaff is burning. And if you notice there, next to the chat box, you can see the little hand holding the fist holding the stick to let you know that your shillelagh is on.
Okay, and then I can.
Oh, from here on out, it'll be force or bludgeoning if you want it to be, and then it'll be the higher damage die. But that's for follow-on attacks, which you don't have. Is that your turn?
So, yep, that's my turn. Let's see here.
Cool. This Whalespawn, who's standing right in front of you, is going to make a claw attack at you
Watch out, Luria.
as it attempts to reach into your soul. That is going to hit. It's going to do 6 damage, and it's going to reduce your strength score by 1.
Oh, goody.
I kind of figured there'd be a response there with that.
Ouch.
There must now always be a response. I lost a whole ass character to that. Not really. It didn't stick, but the point stands.
So your strength score is going to go from 15 to 14, at least for now. You might have to figure out a way how to fix that problem.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. It's not permanent, usually.
Yeah, you'll be all right most of the time.
Speaking of Azure, I'm sure you love these kind of creatures.
And I don't... at the moment, I cannot remember a time when you've been more wrong about something, so... walk into the room. There are certainly a number of them. He's going to cast Sacred Flame on the one next to Luria. And that requires a dexterity save of 13 from this whalespawn.
What's the DC?
13.
It succeeds.
No. Well, it does nothing then. Oh well. For the moment, that'll be it.
Harmony.
Okay, Harmony's up. So she's ready for round 2 and a little bit in a better state of mind. Okay. So Harmony kind of shakes her hand a little bit, and much like she did before, sort of warping in her hand a little bit of flowers and sparks of magic as she summons her pact weapon, which appears this time as a flail. The flail is at the it's quite over embellished and done. It has like sort of a flower like color flowers like coming from it, and it's a bunch of bright colors, pinks, greens, and yellows, like almost neon. With that said, it looks almost otherworldly, and with that, that's her bonus action. She will take her action to dash and move forward, and she will move up to this guy right here, taking front with Luria. And once there, she'll have used her action and bonus action, and that'll be her turn. She's ready to get going.
You should now have a pact flail item in your inventory. So that's that turn. And then it's this one's turn. And then this one is going to... And it's going to run up behind you, Harmony. And for free, please go ahead and make a Charisma save.
Alrighty. That'll be a 7.
Dissonance. Dissonance. Embrace the chaos. Embrace it.
That is what you hear as it reaches out and the claw moves through your body, not making contact physically, but possibly mentally.
Embrace the chaos.
Alright.
Nova.
Nova is going to pull out their lamp and light it. Did that take my action to? It's like a use item thing, right? Is that different in 24?
Correct. No, you're good.
Okay. Well, then that is all I can do.
This one is going to. Let's have it make a intelligence check. See if it understands what's going on. It does not. So it's not going to go and attack Corwin. And attack you, Luria. Or at least that's what it looks like it's about to do. But as they get closer to Nova, and closer to that sun, as it gets closer to the person who with the lamp, it gets kind of a little bit scared, and tries to share some of that scared feeling. So I need Harmony and Luria to make a save for me. I need them to make a wisdom save.
9.
And Harmony, you rolled?
Sorry, 17. And I used a lucky point on that, to be clear.
Very cool. So you feel almost mystically warded from it. But Luria, you do not. You feel frightened by this whale spawn.
Mhm.
Daz, what does frightened mean? Mechanically.
Yeah. So the frightened condition in D&D is not the same thing as the fear spell. The frightened condition instead is simply you have disadvantage on attacks when you can see the thing that you are afraid of, and you cannot voluntarily move closer to it for the duration of that fear.
Okay.
At the end of your turn, you can make another wisdom save to try and end that condition. This Wellspawn is going to understand what's going on, and it's going to use its action. It's going to use its movement and action to get all up into Corwin's face.
Bring it on, you whispering bitch.
This one doesn't know what's going on, and so it's going to come over here and try and attack Harmony.
Alright.
Okay, and that does in fact hit your AC.
Okay.
That's going to be 5 necrotic damage,
Alright.
and it's going to reduce your strength ability score by 1.
Okay.
Corwin.
All right. Well, since there's one obviously right next to me, I think he needs to not be right next to me anymore. We are going to stab at it with the Dagger of Shadows. I hope a 19 will
Yes.
hit. Then we will throw down some damage. I got a 1 on an 8 and a 1 on the 4, but on the other 8 I got a 6 to total in with my everything for a 12.
And that is almost enough to kill it.
Almost, yep. We'll go ahead and finish it off then with using up my second attack for that.
Yep.
And hope an 18 hits. And as I end this one's miserable existence with 20 damage, I'll burst through that one and come up. So way I'm flanking for my next attack, and will simply stay there and end my turn.
That well spawns to Loria.
Okay. I can still attack even though I'm scared. But I'm close enough to everything.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just that because you can see the thing that you're scared of, the attack is going to be at disadvantage.
Okay. Well, I'm going to attempt to attack with my Shillelagh Quarterstaff again. Can I take an inspiration on that?
I mean, you all start the session with a point of inspiration.
So I'm gonna use that for that. Not much better at all. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I don't think that 12 is going to do
It's not. So I'm not going to hit, and so I'm going to do it's to get out of it. What do I have to do before my turn's over?
Another wisdom save, please.
Nope, I'm still scared.
Scared. And this one is going to attack you because you tried to attack it. Only fair, right?
All's fair in love and war.
And this sure is one of them.
I feel no love.
Sad day. Way to bring down the vibe, man.
Yeah. That's gonna hit though. You'll take 5 necrotic damage, and your strength score will be decreased by 1 again.
Oh,
sad face.
Azure.
It's blow myself up time, except I lied, and it's blow everyone else up time. Yeah. And I'm within 5 feet of maybe not this guy. Maybe this guy's a little far, but
Yeah, so just to remind you of how being in other allies' spaces works. You can enter their space. You just can't end your turn in their space.
That's right. Thanks for the reminder. So, with being able to hit all 4 of these lovely whale spawns, Azure's first attempt failed, and I think he grits his teeth and curses in Celestial, and the word itself, being Celestial, has the possibility of hurting these creatures. So mechanically, I'm going to use Word of Radiance, and if I could get a con save of 13 from all 4 of them, please.
Okay.
Well, it's the thought that counts.
I suppose so. I mean, it's not like the...
Word of Radiance, Ace. I'm going to read this spell just to make sure that Word of Radiance, Burning Radiance erupts from you. You know what?
I did
Especially
specify
because it
all
says-
4 of these creatures.
I'm getting to it. Especially because a sunburst token is kind of what it needs. I'm thinking they actually have disadvantage on these saving throws.
Oh. Yay. Come on, take 1 radiant damage. You know you want to.
They instead all take 2 radiant.
Yay, they're weak to radiant damage. Oh. Well. I've realized something about this moment in time.
Yes, you have, haven't you? have activated my trap card.
I mean, you would if you move right back to where you were originally going to cast it. Only this guy would get the attack of opportunity.
True.
Because
Well,
Yeah, I'll do that.
well,
I just kind of hope they don't blow
well, no,
up
because he
with
was
radiance.
originally was able to hit all three of them without entering our space.
That's
So,
true.
so it'd only be this one. Yeah, he just has to make sure he's within 5 feet of this guy.
Yeah. But now I'm in a we're in what I will refer to as a situation.
I will say fine. Only one of them.
That's very kind of you.
Yeah, I'd rather you not take 3 attacks of opportunity.
I would
too.
rather do it.
You shouldn't. I can't blame you. I would do the same.
Okay, that is going to hit. And that's going to be 6 necrotic, which I think you have resistance to.
I
So
do,
that's
in fact, have
3.
resistance.
And your favorite thing, your strength score is going to decrease by 1.
Oh, mechanically speaking, I don't have heavy armor yet. If I had heavy armor and my strength dropped from 13 to 12, do I immediately get the move speed penalty
Yeah.
or something? Interesting.
Yeah, because you need 13 strength in order to use it and not be affected.
I don't have it yet, but something to note for the future, I would say.
When you lost that strength, you hear this real quick whisper in your ear, Azure. Viola should have stayed dead.
Metagaming. Instead of you're rude, Azure looks at that one that says you're metagaming.
More
Sorry,
accurately, I think that Azure would actually hear something more along the lines of
Mistress Trey will die.
Yeah, well, you're gonna die first, so yeah.
You don't feel as if that voice came actually from this thing. You feel as if it has come from further beyond.
Interesting. I think that
Harmony, you heard it too. And it's the same voice that you've been hearing since you first woke up outside the city.
Okay. Does it sound like? Do I hear it in my head, or do I just hear it from coming down the hall?
You hear it not in your head this time, but somewhat originating from this thing, but beyond it.
Okay. Harmony, with her flail, like she's a little stunned and like almost takes a step back into the one behind her there. And she is going to cast, sort of accidentally more than anything else, Hex on this barely injured one right here. And she will hex its constitution.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's her hex. And then she is going, her flail, she's going to like start spinning it up. And as it does, a glow of sort of like white and pink energy start to go around it before she charges up her attack to hit it with the flail. And with that, let me roll to attack. I will use my inspiration on that. I don't want a 7. I want to actually hit something. Hopefully.
Understandable.
Oh, and that's a nat 1, so never mind. I'm not meant to hit it. So I guess as she does this, she tries to hit it with the flail, but the voice just kind of throws her off too much, and she ends up just like missing it completely, or the windup doesn't go fully through. She just does her best, but doesn't mean much.
Yeah. Luckily, you are able to still maintain hold of this summoned weapon, even though that voice you heard threw you off quite a lot. This one is going to look over here at the one with all the light on it, and is going to let's see if it's stupid. It is smart enough not to get 2 attacks of opportunity, but it is going to get 1 attack of opportunity from Harmony as it moves away.
Okay, let's see if we can make up for it with this flail attack. I don't take it in 11 hits.
You are correct.
Okay.
Let's move here to get advantage on Azure. And that's also going to hit. So that's going to be 10 halved to 5 damage. And then your strength gets reduced yet again by another 1.
Do I notice that Harmony seems to have heard it as well?
I mean, I don't
George
think she hit it. I think it was pretty.
Pretty
I mean-
obvious there.
I mean, she was a bit thrown off by it missed her attack completely, like 3 times in a row. So
Yeah, that's true.
there's that at least.
There is, in fact, that. He would take note of that, but now's not the time to discuss it, I think.
Nova.
Wait, Nova's gonna go like right here? Right here. Let's go. Okay, I'm at least close enough for 2 of you. Is that an okay place to stand? I can't tell
Yes,
if I'm too close to this fucker.
you're good.
Okay, we're gonna hit that thing with longsword. Does a 15 hit this one?
15 does in fact hit.
Sweet. Hey, look at that. 11 points of damage.
Okay, and is this a magical weapon?
Azzy, we're level 2 and we just started the game. What the fuck do you think?
Just making sure.
You dumb son of a bitch.
I heard them
But
say
I
Azzy,
would-
and I was like, go off.
Wait,
Would
guys don't
like to
have
use
magical
my-
weapons?
Bonus action.
Go.
It's gonna be 5 damage,
Okay.
and then here and attack. And as it hits you, you're going to hear, because where it hits you is actually, it reaches its like shadowy claw through obviously the outside, and then through where that symbol that you found in your grandmother's armor is. It actually somewhat recoils as it hits that. Still is going to do the damage. Grand total of 3 necrotic damage. And big score goes down by 1. But you hear in your mind, "Child of a Na'vi, how dare you still live?"
All right. Corwin realizes that the rest of the party is being maneuvered, so he's going to try to pick off part of the puzzle, stab this guy. In front of him, that is flanking on Luria, and I believe is also
Yeah.
the one causing Luria's fear, yes? Perfect. So I hope a 25 does enough, and then add in 3d6, that's right. So total of 22 damage to erase that one from the map, and we'll then move to flank the one between Nova and Azure.
Yep.
Highest on that was a 5, so 13 to hit. Alright. Regular damage then. Another 1 on the 8 and 1 on the d4, and then a 2, so like almost minimum
Also
damage,
dead.
total of 8. So that'll...
And Loria, when that one that had frightened you dies, you are no longer frightened. Was that Corwin's turn? Loria.
I'm going to attack again with my shillelagh.
Shillelagh. A 12 to hit.
12
That
to hit.
hits.
All right, rolling for damage then.
This time it is magical. That's 7 damage.
Yep.
Very close. You hit this thing with your quarterstaff, and it looks for a moment as if it's going to disapparate and fade into nothingness, but it reconstitutes just enough to stick around.
All right. And then that's what I'm going to do.
This thing is nearly dead, and you attacked it, so it's going to attack you. And it hits you again. That's going to be 9 necrotic damage. You already took it. Cool. And then that's Asher.
Okay. If either of them want to flank, they'll have to move to an inopportune position to do so. And we're going to Word of Radiance once again. Try to hit both of them. Con save 13, please.
Do they take half if they succeed?
No, they take none.
What's the DC?
13. And I think I'm going to stop using this spell after this. I keep thinking, yeah, hitting everybody in a 5-foot radius will be nice if we're surrounded.
I mean, it would.
be.
It would if you rolled better on the radiant damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's going to take 2 damage.
Count it, 2.
Make a either insight or perception, your choice. Just tell me which one it is you do.
Okay. Suppose I'll do insight. 16.
Okay, so as you hit this one with that radiant damage and get that 16, you see, again, you already sort of had this potential understanding that this is like a being that is from that very like corrupt part of the world.
Yes.
And you see that you see behind its mask almost. You see like where those eyes are. You see tears as if it is in great pain. And just honestly is trying to reach out for help and just doesn't know how.
Could I... And that's this one?
That is the one that you see it in, yes.
Interesting. I don't fully know what he would do with that information. As a bonus action, would you allow me to extend my hand and touch it? And the name of my god escapes me as I need it. Estrella, correct?
Mm-hmm.
He would lay a hand on the creature, compelled by... Normally, I don't think he would be happy to be around these things, and he's still certainly not. But there's a moment where the tears, he feels compelled to help anyone that he sees in pain. And so I would like to have him lay his hands on the creature and just say a brief prayer, something to the effect of, I hope your soul finds peace in Estrella's light.
Make a religion check, please.
Okay. 10. I'm going to use my player inspiration, I think, for that. I feel good about that decision. I feel bad about that decision. Yeah, it became a 6.
Yeah. No matter, because as you say this prayer and put your hand upon this thing and say the name of the goddess of the sun, its mask and honestly the entire body disappears in radiant flames as you burn away the shroud and release its soul.
I don't suppose I can do that more than once a turn. Especially not with the limited action economy I have left. If you'll allow me, I'd like to try again. But if it's not possible, we'll move on.
Correct, it is not.
All right. Okay. Harmony would just like glance over at Azure and like have like a look of confusion and almost dumbfoundedness at what just occurred. Before like okay, springing into battle. Because this one right here was killed. Hex is just going to, for bonus action. Harmony will reapply it to this one. It's probably overkill, but hey, hexing its constitution, and she's going to like sort of like skid around it right past Azure and charging up her flail as she does so before going in from behind with the flank for her flail attack. That'll be a 21 to hit. A 21 to hit? Okay.
Yes, I would be very concerned if it didn't.
Okay. So that'll be 5 radiant damage plus, and then let me get my hexes damage. The hex damage is another 3 necrotic.
It is immune to the necrotic, but the radiant you see would have done double.
So yeah,
double, but it had 1 HP.
Okay, well, it's the thought that counts. As Harmony comes in behind it with her like flail charged up and like kind of just hitting it right in the back. I guess it kind of disappears from that.
And you crush this thing with the head of the flail, and that radiant light rips the shroud off of it as well. And you can see it hasn't been that long since the kaleidoscope incident. You definitely remember her face. The last time you've seen her face was when a steel blade had been drove into her back. And you see Elowen look at you, tears running down her face, her ghostly face. And she says, "Thank you," and disappears.
As Harmony sees this, she like immediately as she sees the familiar face, she would drop the flail, letting it hit the ground. And as combat kind of comes to an end, she would be like stepping back, more afraid than anything else. Mm-hmm.
I think that would be possibly a good spot to end this episode.
I think you're absolutely right. I think a lot of revelations were made. Alrighty, well, thank you folks for listening to episode 4. We hope you enjoyed the change up, and we'll look forward to having you with us next time. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
You couldn't hear my wave. I waved goodbye.
Thank you for listening to Arcane Anarchy. We couldn't do this without wonderful programs such as Pocket Bard, who provides the background music, We couldn't do this entire production without Audacity, so a big shout out to those companies for your software, and we thank you. Have a great day.